All right, guys, what is happening? The video that I promised you is here. Today is beach driving day. It's me. You don't have to bark. And my dog going crazy doesn't recognize me on the camera. So guys, today it is beach driving day, but it is not any type of beach driving day. We are going across to Fraser Island, which is the largest sand island in the world, but more on that later. Now, in order to get there, we do need to jump on a ferry, obviously, because it is an island. So we're gonna go get some diesel because we're pretty low in the Raptor. Go to the ferry point, and I'll see you when I'm on the ferry.
Now I gotta ride or die.
Literally as we pulled up, I saw him move. He must have been waiting to see if anybody came. Sand was pretty soft today, but as he got out onto the beach, because it rained last night, wasn't too bad. Got a bus as well, so this is like an off-road bus, which is pretty cool. But I'm hoping that they take a card payment because I don't have any cash with me today. So this video could be very, very short. I could get on the barge and they could be like, sorry, we don't take card payment, and I'll just turn around and we'll go home. So hopefully they take card payment, but we'll wait and see. And if this video is longer than 5 minutes, then you know they took card payment. And if the time frame on this video is only 5 minutes long, well, you know, this is a very short video and I'm going home. Hey guys, welcome to my Fraser Island video, or gari as it is now called. Interestingly enough, in English it's spelled kagari, but pronounced with a silent K, just like knee and knife. Now, as gari is the original name for the island, I figure it's only fitting to let you know why that is and how it came about. So the original settlers of the island, or the original Aboriginals known as the Butchella people, they told Dreamtime stories, and one of their Dreamtime stories goes like this. Beryl, the great god in the sky, made all the people, but after he made the people, Beryl realised that the people had no lands, so he sent a messenger, Yendingi, to solve the problem and create lands for the people. Yendingi came down from the sky, but he needed a helper, so the beautiful white spirit called Princess Gari came with him. Now, Gari was a great helper and helped Yendingi make the seashores, the mountain ranges, lakes and rivers all around Australia and the Hervey Bay region. Princess Gari enjoyed her work so much that one day she begged to actually stay down on Earth with all the hard work that she'd created. She was told, no, you can't, your place is up in the sky with me, but she begged and begged. Finally, Yindingi agreed. You may stay here, he said, but you cannot stay in spirit form, you need to change. So he changed it into a beautiful island that we now know as Gari. And legend has it that the Butchella people were created and placed there to protect the island for all time. Now, in 1770, Captain Cook sailed his big old merry boat past, and he thought it was actually attached to the mainland, so he called it the Great Sandy Peninsula. It wasn't until 1799 that Matthew Flinders explored parts of Hervey Bay that he realised that it was actually an island. And in 1839, Captain James Fraser, his wife, and a crew on his fancy wooden boat were shipwrecked on the island when they hit the reef at the north of the island. Now, there are two stories on this. One is that the resident Butchella people in the island captured and speared Captain Fraser to death, and the other is that he just died of natural causes. But to be fair, we're never going to know the truth, are we? So in 1842, it was formally named Fraser Island in memory of Captain Fraser and his crew. However, in 2021, the Queensland government renamed it Gari, and it is now recognised as a World Heritage Area. Also, Gari is the largest sand island in the world, made completely of beach sand sat on top of volcanic rock. And if it wasn't for the algae in the sand here, nothing would actually grow on the island, and the wind would blow the sand away, and we'd just be left with more ocean. So it's very important that while we're here visiting, we look after the island and we treat it with the respect it deserves. What a life, guys. I hope you enjoyed that little bit of a history lesson on Fraser Island and how it got here and how it became. But it wouldn't be a trip to Fraser Island without a visit to Lake Mackenzie. And in order to get to Lake Mackenzie, we need to take some inland tracks. Now, these tracks can sometimes be a little bit treacherous, but because it has rained a lot recently, the track does look fairly hard and everyone is kind of driving in and out of it really easy. But Mads is over there having a look, letting us know if it's any good, if it's super soft. Should give us a thumbs up or something, hopefully. We'll go through and I'll see you guys at Lake Mackenzie. Alright guys, so we took the turn off for Lake Mackenzie, and there's shipwreck behind me there. So we took the turn off for Lake Mackenzie, right? And it said 9 kilometers to Lake Mackenzie. So I set the trip on the computer, traveled around about 8.5 Ks, and then there was a sign, a big massive like crossroads, and there was another sign and it said Lake Mackenzie, 8.9 kilometers back the way we'd just come. And I was like, what? As you could understand. And of course, like GPS and all that kind of stuff doesn't work over here. So I was like trying to figure out where we were, couldn't find out. And what I think has happened is I reckon somebody's took the sign off and they've put it on somewhere where it's not supposed to be. Some little sneaky bugger has done that. So, because we're only over here for the day, I didn't want to spend all day looking for Lake Mackenzie because I wouldn't get to show you anything else and I wouldn't get to have a fish in either. So we literally just came back down to the beach, and here is the Mahino wreck. And while I do some footage of this, I'm going to voice over a little story about the Mahino wreck for you and how it became to be here. The SS Mahino is probably one of the most famous shipwrecks here on Fraser Island. It was built in 1905 and was one of the first turbine-driven steamers. She used to travel a regular route between Sydney and Auckland until she was commissioned as a hospital ship in Europe during World War I. She also served in the Mediterranean and the Red Sea. In 1935, her and her sister ship, Una, was sold to Japan for scrap. Now, the rudders of the boats were removed and they were being towed to Japan. When they reached Queensland waters, a cyclonic storm snapped the tow chain on the Mahino and it drifted helplessly onto Fraser Island's ocean beach. And it has, well, as you can see, been here ever since.
Check out that big sumo.
A $5 donut. I tell you what. For $5, it wants to taste pretty good.
Not bad?
Yeah, I'd say that.
How would you rate it out of 10?
That's a $5 donut. That's a $5 donut. Nice tasty worm for some fishies. See if we can catch something. Probably not. Knowing me. My fishing skills, but let's go. See, I was going to go here because there's a little gully, but in the time that we pulled up, that has gone out so much that I think it might be a little bit too shallow. So we're going to go over there, and it looks like just between all the waves there's a bit more happening. So we go there.
She independent, got a land truck, don't need no man, but I'll man up for that. Oh, put it on camera. She a freak, nothing I can't handle. When I'm pulling up in that phantom, I got a blue wetter than Niagara. To my dog, I'm with the leash. Ain't no one holding me back on my beast. Showing them all, following my teeth. None of them with me in these streets. Ooh.
Got that now?
Yeah. So guys, cast it out. Must have been a massive fish, probably a shark or a whale or something. I don't know. I broke it. Broke my fishing rod. Alright guys, so after that absolute disaster, my attempt at fishing. I promise you guys I'll get better at that. Thought we'd come up to, like, this is about 3/4 of the way north, up Fraser Island, Indian Head, and behind me is the head. That way, there we go. Apparently, when Captain Cook sailed his boat past, he thought that the rock face, the head there of the island, from a distance, it looked like a bunch of Aboriginals or Indian people like congregating. So they called it Indian Head, and that's what it's been known as ever since. But check out the water behind me. How nice is this? Be really, really good fishing here at the moment. However, there's a total fishing ban on this part of the island between the 1st of August, and the end of September, presumably to help the fish population repopulate, because they have a massive fishing tournament along this stretch of beach here. I think it's in the start of the year. So now they've got the fishing ban to let the fish repopulate, and then the tournament starts again later on next year, I guess. But guys, look, I hope you enjoyed today's video. We're just gonna grab some pictures and that for Maddie's social media here, and then head on back towards the barge, because it's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon now. Last barge is at like 4:30. So we're gonna have to head back to the barge to catch back across to the mainland, because we haven't booked any accommodation here for the night. But guys, as always, I hope you enjoyed the insights in my life here in Australia, here on the channel. A little bit different to what we normally have here. If you do like this type of video, let me know. I'll make more of it for you. And if you're still here watching right now, it means that because we're at the end of the video, you really like the video. So if you're not subscribed, you should be subscribed, and leave me a thumbs up as well. Cheers, guys.